Welcome back to the Living in Tucson channel. I'm Rachel Clark. Today we are going to be going over the Ultimate Tucson Tour. I've helped so many clients move here, and being born and raised here, I think I have a really great idea of the area, what people like, and pros and cons. So today we're going to go over why people like living in certain areas, pros and cons, what there's to do, and so much more. We're going to cover 6 different areas in and around the Tucson area. So make sure you stay tuned for the Ultimate Tucson Tour. Okay, here we have a map of Tucson. These red lines are showing basically the Tucson city limits, and anything in this area is still somewhat considered Tucson, but you have your little sub-towns and towns and areas. So the 6 places we're going to be looking at today is up north right here, Oro Valley. And then we're going to be going to Marana, which is northwest right off of the I-10. And then we're going to be taking a look at Catalina Foothills, which is north. Tanque Verde Valley, which is east. Vail, which is southeast. And then Sahuarita, which is south. So let's go ahead and start at Oro Valley. Up first, we have Oro Valley. So Oro Valley is a town outside of Tucson, so just north of Tucson. Right through here, this is Oracle Road. That's mainly your main road to get in and out of Oro Valley. This is Oro Valley, the area, the town north of Tucson. One of the biggest pros I think that everyone talks about, that's one of my favorite things about Oro Valley, is the views of the mountains. This right here is the Santa Catalina mountain range. It's right on the edge of the Push Ridge Mountains. So breathtaking views, gorgeous, gorgeous views. So right in through here, mountain range, that leads into a lot of pros for outdoor enthusiasts like biking, hiking, any outdoor activities. There's a lot of great cycling paths, and it's a huge cycling community. So it's really great, lots of nature walks, super beautiful. Another really amazing thing about Oro Valley, another pro, is that it's very clean. You really don't have a lot of foot traffic in the area, which might lead into a pro or con, however you want to take it, is that police is very strict there. So that also then ties into there's rarely or even any homeless in the area. Town is very, very clean. They keep ordinances very tight and in check. So again, however you want to see it, that could be a pro or a con, but to me, I think it's a pro. Keeps the town very clean and beautiful. Oro Valley has a lot of master plan communities within the town. So you do have a lot of homes that are more of the cookie cutter feel and subdivisions. One of the bigger ones in the area is Rancho Vistoso, right here north. Throughout the town, lots of master plan communities, but this is one of the biggest ones, Rancho Vistoso. Really great communities that have a lot of parks, a lot of neighborhood schools, a lot of walking paths, dog parks. It's very, very suburban-like feeling. And another thing is why people love and choose to live there. So they love it because it's a little bit further north of Tucson, so you're not necessarily in the city. This is going into the city of Tucson. You're taking Oracle Road and just going north to get into Oro Valley. So people do like the distance. They like to be able to not be within the city limits. And one good thing about it is home prices. You can find, a townhouse or a condo in the mid to high 200s, and then it goes all the way up to $1 million custom homes. So you have such a wide variety and range of home pricing. Another thing is that I love about it, and why a lot of people are drawn to the area, Tucson in general, is there's a lot of golf courses. You do have Oro Valley Country Club. So you are going down Oracle Road, right in through here, just zooming in just a little bit, and you have the Oro Valley Country Club. It's a very popular older club, really beautiful. And then you do have the resorts like El Conquistador, which is a Hilton resort. There's a beautiful golf course there. And then if you go up a little bit more north, you have Stone Canyon and a lot of other golf courses within this area. So definitely a golfer's dream and a lot of fun. Also leading into the golf courses and the master plan communities, Oro Valley is a very big advocate and has a lot of 55 plus communities. So that's a really great option, if you are looking to move here after retirement or looking for a second home. I know Rancho Vistoso, Golder Ranch, Catalina, really great 55 plus communities within these areas. Let's go ahead and talk about what's around the area, shopping, restaurants, all of that. Oro Valley Marketplace has really great options for shopping and some dining. There is a super Walmart there, there's a movie theater, there's a lot of amenities within that area, an Ulta, and then also very, very close to the Oro Valley Hospital. Then if you just go a little bit south, you have the Rooney Ranch and Steam Pump Ranch, which you have Starbucks, you have a First Watch, which is a really great breakfast spot. There is a Target, a Fry's, Home Depot. So a lot of your shopping necessities within this area as well. And one thing that I find really great is that no matter where you're kind of living in Oro Valley, whether it's a little bit more north or a little bit west in this Tangerine area, you're still within about a 5 to 7 minute drive to get to amenities like your grocery stores and any restaurants. So it is really well placed out and planned. Another wonderful thing about this area and living in Oro Valley is there's a lot of great restaurants within Oro Valley. One of my favorites is Seis Mexican Restaurant, which is right down in this area, a little bit south on Oracle. And then you have places like First Watch, like I mentioned earlier, Harvest Restaurant, which is really popular here in town. You have El Molinito, which is another wonderful, great Mexican restaurant. The Landing, and then there's also a lot of breweries within the area. So it's really cool because you can take these walking paths or biking paths and get to a lot of restaurants or just amenities within the area. All right, let's go ahead and talk about schools. In Oro Valley, it is within, for public school, the Amphitheater School District, but there are a lot of great charter schools and private schools as well. So some of the public schools, you have Painted Sky Elementary, Copper Creek Elementary, and then high schools, you have Ironwood Hills High School, and then down here you have Canyon Del Oro High School. And then one of the best private schools in the area is Push Ridge Christian Academy, which is relatively close to Canyon Del Oro or CDO High School. And then some of the great charter schools within the area, you have Basis Primary, and then you have a Lehman Academy of Excellence. So a lot of wonderful school options, whether you decide to go public, private, or charter. Oro Valley tends to cover all of those areas, and it leads to a great option for any of the schools you're looking at. Let's go ahead and head a little bit more northwest and check out the town of Marana. All right, heading north from Oro Valley, here's where we currently were looking at. Now we're going to head a little bit northwest up to the town of Marana. So this right here is the I-10. This is the road that's going to be taking you up to Phoenix or down south. So Marana is right off of the I-10, which makes it pretty convenient because even though it is further than Oro Valley, you can get into downtown Tucson within 25 minutes, depending on traffic, but typically it's no more or less than 25 minutes. Now, Marana is a farming community and also one of the bigger master plan communities in Tucson or in the Tucson area. And it's going to be really noticed and noted that Gladden Farms is the bigger master plan community in Marana. So you have a lot of new build homes in this area like Meritage Homes, Madame, and a lot of those new builds. So a big, good community for new build homes if that's something that you like. And I think a big pro about Marana and the area is that it's very community based. Because it is newer, you have a lot of newer schools, parks, trails, outdoor activities. And one thing I do note for these out of towns like Marana, Sahuarita, Vail, it is very popular for border patrol, police, fire department. So you do have a lot of those people living in the neighborhood, which I think is really great and definitely makes me feel safe if I were living in that area. There is also a private airfield out in this area, so that is something to keep in mind as well. One con I do see about Marana is that they are going slowly in the process towards that step, but you are further away from big box stores like grocery stores, Target, Costco, those things. So if you are in Marana right here, you are probably about 15 minutes away from a big box store, which isn't awful. So you'll get on the I-10, you'll drive a little bit south, and you'll get off on Cortero Farms, which is really going to be where you're getting a lot of those big box stores. Twin Peaks right here as well. You find grocery stores, but if you want like a Target or a Costco or anything, you're about 15 minutes away, which really isn't that bad. One thing that I think people love living in the Marana area, besides the community aspect of it, is that it's very affordable. So you do get these new construction homes that they're building out there, and either you can do a resale, which, you know, might be a little bit more or a little bit less than what it is selling on the market currently. But, you know, you work with these builders and with your agent, and you make sure that you have representation when you go in, but you get a brand new home in this great neighborhood in Gladden Farms, and it's a wonderful option for living in the area. So you have more bang for your buck in that area, and you can get homes in the low 300s all the way up to the mid 600s. So there's a really wide range for if it's something that you're looking for. Another great thing besides the community aspect and the lower priced homes is there's a lot of parks in the area. You have a lot of newer dog parks, walking trails, parks for kids, splash pads, pools. So it's a really great option where you really don't have to leave the neighborhood. Even though you are farther away from big box stores, if you just head a few minutes north, you'll be in downtown Marana. So you do have restaurant options. They are building out a lot of great options out there. You have a Bisbee Breakfast Club, a Nico's Taco Shop, there is a Dutch Bros they just put out there, and a McDonald's. So you do have food options, and of course there's always things like DoorDash and Grubhub so that you can get things delivered, or you can just drive 10-15 minutes away to get to other restaurants. Another thing that I really love about the town of Marana and why I tend to visit out there during the holiday season is with the farms out there, they have the Marana Pumpkin Patch and they have their Christmas extravaganza. So it's a lot of fun for the kids, a lot of fun for families during the holiday season. So that's one thing I definitely look forward to. Let's go ahead and jump into the schools in Marana. Marana has a great public school system, and then they also offer a lot of STEM schools, and you are close to a charter school as well. East of the freeway, you have the Dove Mountain STEM School, so that's a good option for Marana. And then just zooming into Gladden Farms, you do have the Marana School District over here, so for public schools, Marana Middle School. And then within Gladden Farms, you have Gladden Farms Elementary. So that is a great option for, you know, the kids, and it's close. Kids can walk, bike to school within the neighborhood. And then to show you the charter school, we're just going to go a little bit south down here, and you do have the Lehman Academy down here. So within the area, you have the Lehman Academy, and if you're getting on the freeway, it's probably about less than a 10-minute drive to get to that charter school. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Catalina Foothills. So we were currently in Marana, which is right here on the map. We're going to be heading over here, kind of back down towards Oro Valley, a little bit more in town to the Catalina Foothills. So let me zoom you in. Here we are. This is within and right off of the cusp of the other side of the Catalina Mountain Range. So gorgeous, gorgeous views. This is definitely a very high desirable area to live. So a con for some people that might be, it's definitely a little bit more expensive to live in this area if you're either renting or buying, but it is definitely well worth it. You are closer to the Tucson metropolitan area in this area. As you can see, this red dot right here, that is showing the Tucson city limit line. River Road is going to be your key on within city limits. If you are north, this is within just Pima County, you're out of city limits, and that's where the Catalina Foothills area is. So very mountainous, hilly range, gorgeous, gorgeous views of the mountains, a lot more to do in this area, whether that's shopping, food, you just have the convenience factor of being closer to town, but with a more luxury living area. A lot of great reasons why people love living within the Catalina Foothills is there's more custom homes, more space, if you are looking for a smaller home, there are townhouses and apartments and so forth, but there is just more space. It's more of a custom home feel. You're closer to shopping, which is great. There's a lot of restaurants, a luxury mall within the area. And one of the biggest reasons is a lot of people move there or want to be within that area is that it has one of the top public school districts within the state. The Catalina School District is one of the top. People want to be within it. It's harder to get into, so that's a huge reason. Also, this is kind of Tucson across the board. There's a lot of outdoor activities, so hiking, biking, nature, yoga. There's just a lot of access within this area. Another great thing is that you're within more of a luxury area. So you have a lot of resorts like the Hacienda del Sol Guest Ranch. You have the Westin La Paloma. There are newer hotels they just opened in the area like the Eddy Hotel. You also have a lot of other ones like Los Ventana Canyon Resort. And then country clubs. You have La Paloma that I mentioned, Skyline Country Club, and Ventana, which is also a private club as well. So because this is more of a desirable area, it is more of a challenge to find a lower priced home. You can find some condos or townhouses that would be in maybe the low 400 range, but you are getting into more of the luxury area, so more custom homes. So if there are homes that are in the high 400s or 500s, a lot of times they do need a lot of work. So you're really going into the high sixes and then well up into the million and multi-million dollar range within the Catalina Foothills area. So again, with those country clubs, with those higher price points, it's a very well desired area, and houses, if they're in great condition or if they're remodeled, they fly off of the market and don't last long. Another great area that I really love and things to do within the area is you have the La Encantada Mall, which is right here in this area. So you have more luxury shopping, AJ's Fine Food, you have a Lululemon, a Tecovas Boots store, a lot more luxury shopping there. And then you do have restaurants within this area as well, like a Blanco, North Italia food. They also do have a Fleming's in this area, and then some burger shops, which are really great. And then if you just go a little bit south down Campbell, you'll hit this area as well. So you get closer to more grocery stores like a Trader Joe's. There's also some restaurants and shopping in this area. So you have a Zin Burger, which is a great burger place, another Say's Kitchen, which is a Mexican food place, and then you have Union, which is a restaurant in this area, and well within St. Philip's Plaza, which there's a lot of fun things to do. There's a cycling place in there, and you have yoga. So a lot of your luxury amenities that people really like, and just the convenience factor, that is well within this area within a 5-10 minute drive, depending on where you are in the foothills. And then if you're just going to be going a little bit east in the foothills area, there is a lot of restaurants off of Swan. There's a really great pizza place called Fiamme, and if you just go a little bit more east, you do have an El Charro nearby as well. So that's a huge popular Mexican restaurant. They were actually the inventors of the chimichanga, if you are familiar. So it's definitely a very popular place and people love it here in town. And then you have really close amenities, really within 5-10 minutes depending on where you live, even closer. So you have Safeway, Bash's', AJ's Fine Food, Fry's, so you have a lot of great amenities within these areas. Now on to schools. Like I mentioned earlier, the Foothills does have one of the top school districts in the state of Arizona. So the public school is really, really great in this area, very desirable. Some of the elementary schools, you have Canyon View Elementary, Ventana Vista Elementary, and then middle schools, you have Esperero right through here. Another elementary is Sunrise Drive Elementary School, and then Manzanito, which is also very popular. And then another middle school is Orange Grove, which is right in this area over here. And then you also have Catalina Foothills High School. So those are the public schools within the area. And then if you just go a little bit down south, still within the foothills, you have Basis North, which is a charter school within the area. And then also you have the Tucson Hebrew Academy. So a lot of options within the area, all within a 5, 10, 15 minute drive, depending on where you live in the Catalina Foothills area. Now, let's go ahead and look at Tanque Verde Valley. Okay, making our way from the Catalina Foothills, we are going to be going east into Tanque Verde Valley. So this is considered East Tucson, Northeast Tucson, but it is a little bit further away from town. So that might be one of the first cons, is that Tanque Verde Valley is probably, depending on where you are in the valley, it can be anywhere from 25 to 45 minutes to get into town or across town into Tucson. So it really just depends. But the good thing is, because you're further out, you are getting those bigger lots for homes, because this is an older area of developed land. So you get bigger lots, you have more ranch style homes. There are still those master plan communities that you have subdivisions and everything, but you're more likely to find more space out here. One thing about it too, it is more of an equestrian area. So you do have more horseback riding, horsing facilities, farms, ranches. So it's super beautiful out there, very well spread out, more in the valley area. So you have a little bit more greenery out here as well. And one thing also why people love living out here, besides the space and the land, is that you have your outdoor activities, you're within the mountain ranges, so kind of wherever you're situated in this area, you're surrounded by the Sahuarita National Park. You have the Catalina Mountains over here, the Rincon Mountains, so you're really tucked in nicely in this mountain range. Also, you have some great golf courses out here kind of throughout Tucson, but you have the 49ers Country Club right in through here. And then over in this area, you have the Arizona National Golf Course, which is also an award-winning golf course, very, very popular. So super beautiful, super nice. Besides the space and the land, why people like living out here, it's really just the homes. You have more of those ranch style homes, like I mentioned, bigger space, bigger lots. It is a nice tight-knit community. It's kind of well across the board in these outer parts of Tucson. So really great knowing your neighbor, having those parks you can walk to, outdoor activities. So it is a really great option. So with those wide spaces and larger lots and ranch style homes do tend to be in a more mid to higher price range in this area. Houses tend to start in the low to mid 500s, and then they do increase from there. But you're getting great land, you're getting great school districts, so it is a great option if this is where you're looking. And even though you are further away from big box stores and in town, you do have some great restaurants, and you do still have like a Safeway and shopping needs out here, so it is well placed. A great popular restaurant in the area is the Barnyard. Really cool place. And then if you just go a little bit west on Tanque Verde in this Bear Canyon area, you do have a Safeway, and you have a lot of restaurants in this area, like the Bear Canyon Pizza Company, Street Tacos and Beer, Fire Truck Brewing Company. So a lot of great food in this area, and also one of my favorite breakfast places, Le Buzz, which is in this section as well. Really, really great option. And if you're going in this Bear Canyon area or in Tanque Verde, one thing to note, which is a huge attraction for a lot of people in Tucson, if you're just going up this Catalina Highway area, it does actually take you to a really cool day destination, Mount Lemmon. So you go into these mountain ranges here in the Catalina Mountains, and you go all the way up into the mountain. And Mount Lemmon, it's beautiful. You're basically getting a different ecosystem up there. It's all pines, mountain area. It's a cute little cabin town. You can go up to the cookie cabin up there or just hike around. It's a really fun day trip. And a huge plus about it is that it's a nice escape, because it's about a 15 to 20 degree difference in Mount Lemmon throughout the year. So during the summer months, when it's pretty warm in the valley in Tucson, you can just take a drive up to Mount Lemmon, and it'll still be kind of warm, but it's definitely not in the low 100s. You can maybe get in the high 80s or so. And then we do get a lot of snow in Mount Lemmon during the winter months. So it's a nice fun retreat, so you can kind of get a different scenery just for a quick 30-40 minute drive, especially from Tanque Verde Valley. Let's go ahead and talk about the schools in the area. So another really great public school district in Tanque Verde Valley. So for the elementary schools, you have Agua Caliente Elementary, as well as Collier Elementary and Tanque Verde Elementary. And then a really great junior high school is Emily Gray, which is right in this area. And then you also have Tanque Verde High School, you have Sabino High School, which is one of the TUSD public schools, and really great Montessori school out here as well. Great school options. And then also you're not too far if you're wanting to go a little bit more into town for charter schools like Lehman Academy or Basis Charter as well. Not too far, probably about a 15-20 minute drive depending on where you're living in Tanque Verde, but lots of school options in this area, well spaced out land, beautiful community, surrounded by mountains. So from here, we're going to be going south to Vail. Headed from Tanque Verde Valley area, we are now headed south towards the town of Vail. So zooming in, we are going more southeast to Vail. Vail is very similar to Marana and Sahuarita, where they're very huge on the master plan communities. So these areas started getting developed and they're beautiful. They're surrounded by mountains and you have a lot of new home options and new build. And they did start more in, you can find some that are as late as the 1990s, all the way to brand new builds as of 2024. So it is still in development and there's lots going on out here as for building and just building up the community. One great thing about it is you are surrounded by the Sahuarita mountain range. So in these areas you have gorgeous views, and then also lots of golf courses out here. So one of the bigger ones is Del Lago Golf Club right here. And a con that some people might find is that it is further away. It is a longer commute if you're looking to get into town, but you are right off of the I-10. So similar again to Marana, you jump on the interstate and you can get where you need to go if you're needing to go into town, if you're needing to get to Phoenix, any of those places. What it's like to live in Vail is, again, very similar to Marana and Sahuarita with the master plan communities, but it's a very close, tight-knit community. So a lot of the kids and a lot of the families and neighbors, they look out for each other, they know each other, they're very familiar with who they're living next to. So I think that's a really great aspect to have. Sometimes harder to find, but nice suburban living. Another great reason is that the affordability. Of course, you have your custom homes that can get into the $1 million range with lots of land, but when you're talking about the master plan communities and the heavy development there is great affordability. So you can find those homes that are starting in the mid 300 range and getting a new build home, or of course finding it on the resale price. But within these communities, you do have a lot of law enforcement, military, because it is so close to the interstate, and also it's a gorgeous community. So you will find a lot of law enforcement, police, firefighters all across the board that are living within that area. Also, the school system, the Vail School District, is very highly sought after. So people are definitely wanting to be within this area. It's a top school district within the state of Arizona. There's over 23 schools within the Vail School District. In Vail, there is a lot to do. It's actually like the rest of Tucson, great for outdoor enthusiasts. Are near Colossal Cave, which is a eco cave system, really gorgeous. It's right in this area right here. And it's, if you ever get to go see it, definitely worth a view and a visit. You have the Lago Golf Club like we talked about, so it is a course. You can jump on it. It is open to the public. Lots of horseback riding in this area. And then also you are near the Pima County Fairgrounds in this area. So there's the Tucson Dragway, where they have drag racing. The fair comes during the springtime in April, so that's really fun. Great short commute to there. Tucson Speedway as well, which is also for racing, which is really fun. So it's a cool thing to go to. So lots of action in that area. You're also relatively close for a day trip to Sonoita, which is just going a little bit south. Sonoita is known as a wine country in this area. So here's Vail. You just take a quick drive down to Sahuarita. So if you ever want to go and check out the wine and do a wine tours in that area, it's a lot of fun. Probably about a 45-ish minute drive from Vail. And then for shopping, you do have within the area TJ Maxx, Safeway, Fry's, Walgreens, lots of restaurant options. You are probably about a 10-minute drive to get to a Costco or a Target, but really not that bad, but really great community options in this area. You have restaurants like Arizona Pizza Company, Native Grill and Wings, Arby's, Taco Bell, those things, and a lot of local restaurants as well. As mentioned earlier in the video, the Vail School District is one of the top school districts in Arizona, so definitely very high quality schools. People move in this area specifically for their children to go there. So let's switch over to see where some of the schools are. So it's in the Vail Unified School District, and there's over 23 schools. So you have elementary schools, Mesquite, Ocotillo, Copper Ridge, middle schools like Savano, Corona, Desert Sky. They are all within these areas and all along here. And then some of the high schools, you have Empire, Vail Academy, Cienega, and one of the newer schools, which is Mica Mountain, and it's gorgeous. These high schools, they've put a lot of money, time, and effort into it. So you're definitely sending your kids to a great school, beautiful resources, top communities as well. So definitely a very great option to send if you're looking for a great school district and an area to live within with affordable pricing. All right, let's go ahead and look at Sahuarita. Headed west from Vail, let's go ahead and make our last stop to Sahuarita. So zooming in, we are going to be going to the town of Sahuarita, and that is south of Tucson. So here we have downtown Tucson. You'll get on the I-19 and head south, and it's about from mid to downtown Tucson, it's about a 30-minute drive or so. So not too awful depending on where you're situated, but very similar to Marana and Vail, Sahuarita is huge on the master plan communities. Affordability is also a huge factor within these communities. So of course you do have those homes that you can start within the mid 300 range for a new build home, but then it also can go up from there. There's wonderful options for custom new builds in the area that can definitely get into the higher price point. But if you're looking for a great starter home or just a smaller home or any price range within that, Sahuarita has all of those covered. Also within the area, it's huge on community with wonderful walking paths, bike paths that are beautifully paved out within the community. It's very clean, very well kept. Also a lot of splash pad options for the kids and the family, community pools, parks, dog parks. It's really strategically placed out there. So it really touches on that suburban living. And again, very similar to Vail and Marana, there is a good amount of law enforcement that lives out here. So you definitely feel safe and protected within the area. It's a place where your kids can ride their bikes and you feel at ease being in that area. Another great thing that is with Sahuarita, it's being really well brought up and built out. So you are going to have shopping and necessities, which they just started really building out within the past 10 years. So you have your Fry's, you have a TJ Maxx out there, a Sprouts shopping for grocery. You have your Starbucks, Chipotle, some really great restaurant options as well. There's Pub 1922. There's also Mod Pizza, Tanya's Mexican food. So you really don't have to leave this area for much. You have all your necessities unless you're wanting to go in town for, a night out or to try different restaurants. Again, you're probably about a 30-minute drive away, but it's a really great suburban living area for family, and even if you're single and looking to move out to get some more space, and the gorgeous night skies out there are spectacular because you don't have the city lights, which is really great. Switching over to the schools, you would be within the Sahuarita School District. Some of the elementaries, you have Anza Trail School, you have Walden Groves High School, and then in this area right here, you have Sahuarita High School, and there's 9 schools within Sahuarita School District, so it's all within these areas. And if you are wanting to get more into private or charter school, you will have to go further into town and just take the I-19 going north into Tucson, but some really great school options within this area. That wraps up the tour for this part of the Tucson tour. So make sure you let me know if you liked it, if you have any questions, or if you'd like to get to some more information about any of the other areas of Tucson. I'd love to help you or just talk to you in general about any of your real estate needs. Make sure you give me a like and a follow. And also, again, if you have questions, make sure you text, call, or email me. Just reach out and we can talk anytime. Thanks so much. And again, my name is Rachel, and I hope you have a great day.